Some of the theories out there are absolutely wild, and what's worse is that a lot of people are defending them like they're facts. So today, we're breaking down and debunking the most popular ones. Let's start with the idea that the frontman is Il-nam's son. Just look at the comment sections. Tons of people are fully behind this theory. The main evidence they point to? In Season 2, the frontman gives his milk to Kim Jun-hae, saying he can't drink plain milk. Similarly, in Season 1, Il-nam tells Gi-hun that his own son can't drink plain milk either. So naturally, people connect the dots and say, ah, the frontman must be Il-nam's son. But this theory is completely flawed. These are the same fans who were convinced in Season 1 that Gi-hun was Il-nam's son, also based on the milk thing. In truth, Il-nam was clearly manipulating Gi-hun by mimicking behaviors and memories to build trust. It's a known psychological tactic, mirroring someone to make them feel a connection. The frontman is doing the same thing here. We know the frontman is a former winner who joined the games because he couldn't afford his wife's surgery, which tragically led to her death. Now ask yourself, if Il-nam was really his father, would he have just let that happen? It's highly unlikely. Il-nam had the power and money to save her if he wanted to. And if the frontman eventually discovered that his own father was behind these horrific games that let his wife die, would he still help run them? Highly doubtful. The more logical explanation is that the frontman's involvement is rooted in trauma and desperation, not some hidden family tie. We also know the frontman was a decorated police officer who once donated a kidney to save his brother's life. That tells us he was a caring person. Would someone like that suddenly align with his father's psychotic system just because of a blood connection? It doesn't fit. Now, about the stepbrother angle. People claim that since the detective and the frontman are stepbrothers, and they share a father, that must mean Il-nam is also the detective's dad. But that logic falls apart quickly. If Il-nam really had two sons on the island, one running the games and one sneaking around trying to expose them, wouldn't he have done something? Especially when the organization clearly knew about Gi-hun and did background checks on every contestant. It's absurd to think Il-nam wouldn't monitor his own children. Also about the milk thing, roughly 68% of South Koreans are lactose intolerant. That's over 35 million people. So the odds that the frontman is Il-nam's son just because he can't drink milk? Mathematically, that's a 0.284% chance, basically zero. Let's move on. People saw a second doll next to Young-hee in the Season 3 teaser and immediately thought, oh, that's her brother, or it's Jack and Jill. Wrong on both counts. That new doll is her boyfriend, Cheol-soo, confirmed by the show's creator. And no, the game isn't Jack and Jill. That's not even a real game in Korea. It's a nursery rhyme and a board game in the West. This theory snowballed from a single TikTok, and suddenly blogs and magazines ran with it. The entire point of Squid Game is that the games are based on traditional Korean childhood games. The dolls are Young-hee and Cheol-soo. Those are their actual names. There's no reason to drag in Western nursery rhymes. A far better guess is the game Why Did You Come to My House, which Gi-hun mentioned in Season 1. In it, two teams face off, just like the dolls in the teaser. Another theory floating around is human chess. People saw the drawings on the walls and assumed it's a clue. But chess doesn't fit the Squid Game formula. First, it's too slow and calculated for the VIPs. They're clearly watching for the thrill and the violence. Second, it's hard to make fair. Who picks the chess pieces? Who moves them? And finally, with perfect play, chess often ends in a draw. That's boring to watch. The stakes wouldn't be high enough. The only way chess could maybe work is if two players play head-to-head and the loser dies. But even that feels out of place with the chaos the show is known for. Then there's this theory that Min-soo is secretly a VIP. Why? Because if you Google Squid Game Season 2 David Lee, it says VIP 3. That's just an error. The VIP 3 in Season 1 was played by David Lee, a Western actor. Min-soo in Season 2 is played by Lee Dawit, a Korean actor. Two totally different people, different names, different scripts, different formats. If this was a real leak, Netflix would have gone nuclear and shut it down instantly, There'd be lawsuits everywhere. It's just a mix-up in credits. Another theory is that player 100 is a VIP. The logic? He had a 10 billion won debt, encouraged players to continue, and his number is 100, opposite of 001. That's it. But he barely got any screen time. If he were a VIP, don't you think he'd be more involved? Take the mysterious guard girl, for example. She's clearly important. The show keeps zooming in on her. But player 100? Nowhere to be found in the major games. That says everything. And the idea that he went broke and joined the games to pay off his debt completely breaks the rules of what VIPs are. These people are untouchable. They run the games, launder money, kill hundreds, and no one questions them. Look at Gihun. He got handed 45 billion won, and the bank just accepted it. No red flags. VIPs are powerful. Could one of them go broke? Maybe. But would they risk their life playing a death game to earn it back? No way. They'd rather die than fall that far. The only reason a VIP might join would be for some twisted thrill, not to pay off loans. Hopefully this helped clear up some of the confusion and cut through the noise. I actually think fan theories are part of what makes shows like Squid Game so fun. But there's a line between speculation and nonsense. So what's your favorite theory about Squid Game Season 3? Or is there another one you think needs to be debunked? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.